back everyone to Total War Warhammer 3 in part 3 of our Tamurkhan Immortal Empires campaign. In today's episode, we are going to continue our Nurgly sneaky rampage through the Mountains of Morn. Meanwhile, we're going to have Everchosen come on up to the north, start spreading out some control and some growth, and then we might take the fight either to Archaon himself, or we'll move on through and start fighting some of the rats that are beyond. So we'll see if he has any enemies that we can throw down with, or if Archaon just refuses to be our buddy, we might have to prepare for an eventual war here. So we will start up this episode then by creating ourselves with a magma explodes, or I guess the pus explodes out of this magma pile as well. That's something seriously wrong going up here in Tamurkhan's lands. So Glixus, who's going to be in March stance, we'll go ahead and make a plague on him where we give ourselves more growth, more Nurgle corruption, and more cycle time reduction for basic military buildings. We can't really boost this up a ton. I can increase the spread by... I really can't even increase it by 50. We'll just affect Glixus, have him try to spread these plagues through as we march on through. Since we have very high Nurgly corruption here, it's going to increase the chance of plagues spreading by 15%, so that should hopefully start some stank moving around. But Glixus is going to get moving. If I was to redo your campaign, I would absolutely not start with a Lord of Nurgle. I would start with... I don't believe he is able to evolve at all. Just take a look. He might be able to for the Warriors of Chaos, where he's able to turn into a Demon Prince, but over here with Nurgle, he just gets to get up to a Rot Beast. So I would go for either a Herald of Nurgle, so you could upgrade him to a Grin and Cleave one, or if you prefer just your normal Armored Warriors, go for that. But you want a Spellcaster to go along with Tamurkhan. We're gonna let him keep building up Winds of Magic. Can't afford the Demon Spew yet, so we have 24,000 sitting there. Technically, we can absolutely afford them. Let's just do it next turn when we are about to attack. Okay, so next operation is to go make buddies with the Drothzar. Conclave. I will join your war with the Dusk Suns, and you will grant me... He does not want us to. How does that make sense? We'll join your war and I'll give you money? Okay. I'm not doing that. We'll just make buddies the old-fashioned way then. I'll check diplomacy one last time here before we end the turn. Grimgor is fighting against the Mountaineers. The Mountain Eaters. Let's see about joining his war against the weaker. We can't see either one. His first enemy tends to be the Mountain Eaters, so we'll join his war against them.
There's fighting time and yabbering time.
And you can give me whatever gold you're scrounging out, and it'll keep him off our back until we're ready to strike. We aren't going to make buddies with Grimgor either. No one shall be our ally unless we can crush him, subjugate his faction that way. We can try to do that. All this gold left over, we're going to pass the turn once more. 24,000 laying here.
Nurgle is more patient than I.
Nurgle is more patient than I. The gods demand war. I have given you gifts. Alright, Archaon, we need to turn back around aggressively. He's going to be a problem. Especially because he's just right here and he's very close to our capital. Alright then, changing plans. Man, and they've left him right out here for us to strike, too. We recruit an additional Lord. Well, at this point, I can go ahead and get rid of Glixus. He is level 6, though. Get rid of Glixus. Recruit in a Death Mage to try to help deal with enemy Lords. It's kind of what he is for, too, now, since he's riding around on his horse. You can keep up with them. Death Mages are able to kind of just zap their health away very quickly. We could absolutely destroy Glugzag here. Kind of want to. We're losing a lot of our movement, though. Yeah, we can't risk Archaon. All cheeks, Tamurkhan. And I will go ahead and... Well, Glixus still has the plague, doesn't he? Let him keep moving up towards Zanbaijin. This is concerning. I hope we can keep him off our back, so if you are in your own campaign, keep in mind that Archaon is going to be gunning for you pretty quickly. Let's go... Really? None of these units are very exciting, especially against the likes of Archaon. We get Furies to deal with his, and then just grabbing the Hounds, too. At least they can start replenishing. Hopefully that Plague actually spreads. We didn't get lucky last turn. Challenge Stone should be able to defend itself from normal Greenskins, but now's when they strike, too. Oh, we're in a rock and hard place here. Alright, I'm cool losing the Gallows Tree. We'll move in on Zanbaijin and hold the line there. Tamurkhan haul cheeks to the floating mountain for max replenishment. It's really bad that we have to move all the way back here, though. At least in my opinion. Let's upgrade Challenge Stone, and hope we are able to do so before the Greenskins get too spicy. I'm gonna go ahead and give more gifts to the Drossar. We want to make sure they stay on side. No thanks, that's way too much gold. I will give you a little bit of a gift, though. Let's do a medium one this time. It's still 2,000. You stab me in the back and I'll never remember this, Tornado Beard. I'll never remember this. I'll always remember it. Good grief. Nurgle's brain rot has already set in. No more units to summon. We could grab Demon Speed, but we'll do so when we need them. So we'll try to keep them back for Tamurkhan's army if we can. We could quickly grab a non-aggression with Twisted Suns, or the Tough Suns. That'd be Twisted Suns. Way cooler.
I lead.
And they're fighting both Urson and the Disciples of Ashut.
Oh, mine.
Alright. Operation Defense of Zanbaijin. Okay, so the Cool have been sent forward as a scouting force. And we've got the Children of Nurgle research, so from the Flymaster's oozing innards arises a swarm of filth-caked insects, shrouding Nurgle's children with a buzzing, pustulant cloud. More mass and expert charge defense for our demon infantry.
Nurgle's champion. Pestilence.
There's no reason for him to be here by himself unless he is confident that there's someone nearby. So let's come on up in normal stance. We can switch to March if we are sure there's no one there, which we should not be at this point. We're up into the max winds of magic, or at least almost, so we'll keep moving. I'm not gonna march. Inger by himself can't handle the Gallows Tree, but there's definitely someone behind him here. We'll upgrade his Zanbaijin, try to entice them to come that way. Probably after this battle, I'm gonna go ahead and give Glix's troops to Tamurkhan and kick him out, and recruit us a Herald down here at the Challenge Stone to hold the line. And then start grabbing some more incubations for us from the Greenskins. Nurgle corruption in all provinces, or movement range for all armies. Yes, please.
Virulence, lethality, contagion.
Contagion. You stay there, and turn. Okay, and now the Cool are gonna retreat. So Tamurkhan, you come up to the Gallows Tree. Really? Alright, well I'm gonna come out front of the Gallows Tree then. Drop into an ambush stance. Bring Glix's men on over. War Beast is a better term. Then we'll give you the Flyers. Right. Yeah, we'll give them Flyers.
The cities of the Empire.
Man, kicking them out is such a waste. We'll just have him march. Have him stay in the Gallows Tree as a distraction. Okay, right to the side. It'll look as weak as possible. Then we'll go ahead and upgrade the Floating Mountain or Dragon's Death. Let's go Dragon's Death. We can upgrade both the military building and the income. Alright. Archaon declared war and then hasn't showed up. He sent some scouts forward and I guess they just ran back to the Bleeding Spire. Alright, well. Time to punch some more Norskins.
Crush you in a moment.
Crush you in a moment. You want a non-aggression pact? Still no. We gotta work together then? Never. I don't want to make the angry stunties mad. Your most beloved Nurgling greedily suckles upon your pus for far too long. Oh, no. Alas, its tiny bloated body cannot contain the putrescent bile. It bursts, showering a nearby follower in flesh-eating filth. What a heavenly blessing. Oh, good for you, Kazak. You can scour him clean, or you can allow it to fester. Oh yeah, he would absolutely allow it to fester. Get even more gross, Kazak. Living contagion he is. I thought he already was.
Desolation for all!
Desolation for all. We'll leave the Demon Spew off for now.
Find a way or make one.
Alright, Inger is setting up. He's ready to fight. Little does he know, though. It's not going to go very well. We might as well keep all of our troops together, so let's have you in march stance trying to lure him on in. No reason to split them up for now.
Impossible!
Impossible. Alright, so slowly and surely the growth goes.
You cock!
The Taun's improving, but for some reason Kugath is decreasing. How are we a strategic threat? You're a clown. Let me go ahead and declare war on the Blue Roses for you. Give me all your gold. Wonderful. Wonderful. How are we a strategic threat to fellow demons? We're down here in the south. I guess we're actually pretty close. And we start where he used to in the ROC campaign, so maybe he's feeling a little bit jealous. Oh really? They didn't go for the bait. The Choleric Choir. Your Maggokin have been droning the same bone-chilling, single-note drone for years. So it's a surprise to hear them suddenly burst into a disorganized, fragmented melody. They look to you to conduct them. Let's give ourselves Great and Clean One recruitment. That'd be awesome. Hero recruited a Plague Ridden. Give ourselves hopefully a good spellcaster, ZRU of Nurgle. We can make that work. No two Maggokin look identical. This is an unfortunate image here. For each has their own array of weeping sores and cracked lesions, but all are born from the blighted carcasses of mortals. He's been playing a little bit too much Halo. More movement range. We need to sack Islev Cathay Empire Settlement, 6 of them, and we'll get a heap of treasury and some infections. By some, I mean all of them. Alright, Tamurkhan. Time to let's go right over here to smush the Bleeding Spire.
Denied.
Ah, I see you're bringing out your Warhounds. See one of those horrifying dog shows around. Plus, this fountain is spraying way too much blood. We need to replace that with something much more green. Decisive victory. We'll surround them. Haven't had enough action this episode here, so let's start ourselves a battle against the blazing axes.
Favored warrior.
Come on in, favored warrior. We need your reinforcements.
Certainty.
Even if they're just Warhounds. Oh, it's Epidug. Epidug the Stinky. The Big Mouth. He is the Hidden Plague. He's got Stalk and Vanguard. Oh, he's the sneakiest spellcaster around. That works for me, I guess. An interesting ability for sure. Yeah, come on in and join up when you can. We can either go for Despicable Rivals. So we can be throwing hands with Chaos a little bit easier. I think so. I think so. Although, murder is quite simple. But if we go for befriending the rest of them, I think that's actually going to be the better call for the long run here. That way we can strike who we want, we're not getting attacked from behind. Left and right, because I was all primed and ready to start butchering some greenskins. Tamurkhan, let's get them. And Dimiceum. This should work very well against the unarmored berserkers here. Alright, these stinky boys are in our way, and this actually looks like maybe a new map, although, what's going on over here? And some stretching going on. Zinch is afoot. But the actual battlefield itself looks pretty cool. This might have been one that was added with the Thrones of Decay, though. Or Shadows of Change, I mean. There were quite a few Chaos Mountain battles that were added there. Alright, so let's get the lads. I guess they're going to go set up in the back and hide. We'll just come up this hill as a tide of death, then. We'll do Nurglings up front. Good old Plague Bearers. I have the Warriors going through at different angles, while the Plague Bearers being the front line, with Ezar holding with them. Dwarf blunderbusses, I want to keep up hill, probably. Love the Rot Knights sweeping round. We've got 2 of them now. That's going to be great. We'll have them rolling with Kaizek. That'll be his core with the chariots behind them. We want the chariots. The chariots are nowhere near as fast, are they? Oh, they are. Perfect. They can go up front with Kaizek. They can smash a hole, and then the Rot Knights can come on in behind and mop up. We'll grab Shrek his life, or Plague Ogres. Thank you, Skaven Man, for the name there. Normal warriors, will have them going up the hill. Then the Pestigors can roll with them. We'll have the really tanky boys down here with the Ogres and the Beast, which is regenerative, mind you. And then the Toad, since they're so slow, they'll just kind of hang out with the main body of the army as well. Tamurkhan, you roll with them. Or are we missing anyone? Our Furies. So I guess we're really not. They'll be good at dealing with Marauder Horsemen or Hounds that get in and are already fighting somewhere. They don't win in a straight-up fight, though. Don't cry.
Warriors of Nurgle! Mash together!
Cavalry, except for Beasts. And then I guess we'll have the blunderbusses with Group 2, but we'll have them in guard mode. Right then, same thing with the Nurglings. Guard modes, they're not going anywhere. Onward to victory. Well, the slow boys moving up first. Everyone else as well. We're gonna stay here. Here's the plan. Set these lads up. That way our shotguns can be firing down the hill. Those will have one of you go both ways. That way they're staying with some lords and heroes. That way they're not taking any excess damage. Then I'll wait for my allies to arrive like I normally do not. We will be clever and wait for reinforcements. Tamurkhan, you come up front here with Nurglings. Pestigors, you come off to the side a little bit more than you already are. Axes, come on up.
Filth shall prevail!
Filth shall prevail.
Get
35 seconds. Get up there, Drossar. We'll have you right on the hillside here. Be the perfect positioning. Nurglings, come on in. That way we don't have anyone coming past. Great axes, you two.
Warriors of Nurgle!
Pestigors move a little bit quicker, so we'll keep them a little ways behind. Toads running through if we need. And we'll actually have the Furies on this side. You can go after the skirmish cav. That will work. Comes our reinforcements. We'll grab the Hounds and put them in with Group 3. And then you go with the Papa team. Galderman, you come on over with our main line, though, because yeah, I think he's a pretty good frontline fighter, even though he's on horseback. Much more of a stick in and fight melee cavalry type.
Sowing sickness.
A little bit more. Oh, Izar's already dug in. We can't really utilize his... Not quite has enough range. Does not quite have enough range.
Nurgle's
We
favorite.
can't really move them from their position, so... we may have to move over towards them. My fun strategy may not get to work out. Or we could use Tamurkhan and Isaac and the Beast to go wreak some havoc on the flanks, where they're not going to really do anything about it. One of those they will indeed just stand there and bleed situations. You guys going up as well. If we can lure those hounds into a fight, they will get absolutely raffle stomped. Oh yeah, it's a good idea. Bring your hounds wide. Ooh. Chariots, you get them. Rot Knights. Rot Knights. Help the Rot Knights out, and if they get surrounded by the Spearmen, I'm going to drop the Pandaceum. Do you think this is a good idea? Nay, nay. Chase them off. They're dealt with. I'm going to Pandaceum here. Tamurkhan's completely unaffected, so we'll watch the Nurglings rain on down and obliterate this unit. That's one unit of spears gone. Get him, Rot Knights. Love the Chariots go with you. Actually, no, we'll have them come on back around. Rot Knights, that is a lot of Berserkers, so we'll pull you on away from that fighting now. Chariots too. That's a pretty good blitz on that side. They're not going to move forward. This is up to us then. Shotguns moved here instead of where I had you previously. Should be tall enough to fire over the Nurglings. Our Rod Knights are going to regenerate, so as long as their models are still alive, they're fine. You and Isaac will find a juicy center. Those Rot Knights annihilated the horsemen. Perfect. These are an amazing heavy cavalry. Love to see how well they stand toe-to-toe with Khornes. Leaving a trail of sickness. Circle around now. Tamurkhan, you and the Furies go after those horsemen. They're likely to keep running like uber cowards, but we'll see if we can catch them. Burn. They're really just running from our line. Alright, Isaac, you come on in. I bet you can smash through these marauders like they don't exist. Go ahead and run with them. Berserkers actually are pretty heavy. But have to go through. Hit this group with the Cinder Blast shell. Beast, go ahead and dive into the Berserkers. Drothzar. Toads, go hunt. Tamurkhan, you do your thing. Let's go into the spears. You get your extra melee defense. Lost quite a few of our Furies. They just tend to die in droves. Not a tanky unit by any means. They should be going very quick. Drothzar doesn't really like to throw hands, so let's go ahead and pull them away. He does fine, but he'd prefer to not be. Sorry, Chariots. We're bringing some help. Clothes of the sheep. Drop their defense. Gotta stand. Keep ripping. Green Chaos Chariot charge didn't go super well, but man, those ogres did. Had the Plague Bearers keep fighting whoever they were. Battle goes well. You move in to deal with the chieftain. Rot Knights come through. Chariots are still getting smushed, so we'll give them some extra help with heals. We left our poison hounds over here. That's no fun. Still a glorious win. But Resolve turns out was right. I'm gonna do what I can to run down the remainder of Norsca's forces, and I'll catch you guys in a moment. Yeah, no, our Tamurkhan's forces completely unimpressed by the would-be champions here with the cool Inger Angarson slain in honorable combat. Golden Sword is going to go to the Elite Rot Knights at 352. Followed pretty closely by the other Rod Knights. They are absolutely slaying. So we don't necessarily need the gold. We can sack it to gain infections, then occupy it to also gain infections. We're just going to go ahead and loot and occupy this time. This should gain Ezar a little bit more fealty, indeed. Got a Nurglish Zealot. There's so much corruption coming out here now. Really, only +4. 13 coming out of the characters, though. Got the Barons of the Bog, which are a very good heavy cavalry. Heavy monstrous cav. Then we need to sack or raise the Bleeding Spire. Oh, we should have sacked it first. This is why we keep track of our missions. That is so much gold. That's alright, we'll make do. The Lumbering Horror. Our Toad Dragons are not quite in our armies just yet. Heroic Killing Blow is probably a pretty good call, then Master of the Hosts. Upkeep for all units in the local province. You can just build up huge stacks and travel around with Tamurkhan. He's better at building up hordes of chaos than Archaon is.
Maggot Lord.
Boosted by Nurgle for even more Nurglish corruption. I think not. Let's grab training, and then we'll come back through to start buffing up the cavalry a little bit more, up to terrific riders. Having a bunch of terror bombs all over the field is always going to be good. Topple the edifices. Sure, we might as well. It'll help out when we fight Archaon, because he's likely already on his steed, and he'll count as a large target, which will help out for him and all of his blunderbuss units. So, Galixis. Let's grab the upkeep reduction.
Their deaths were certain.
Their deaths were certain. Can we grab any more units that aren't chariots? Looks like no, so we're going to hold off. Probably going to keep building up our fealty so we get another chieftain. Which one do we want? The Mir aren't the most exciting, but having some Cyclopean lizardmen could be interesting. It's probably just Kargan, isn't it? He gets Inspiring Champs, Hell Cannons, and Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. That's pretty much the best one here. Probably closely followed by Grukmer. Beast Path stands to let us teleport through the mountains quite well. Ooh, tough call. Was it Grukmer, or is it Kargan the Crazed for our next choice? I will leave that to you all in the comments.
Son of the sickly winds.
Alright, cleaning the Bleeding Spire. If we're going to do anything with it, I think we want just a few more infections being generated per turn. Doug. We'll have you join up with Tamurkhan, because we definitely could use the heals. Challenge Stone. Let's go for Spiked Palisade, absolutely. More money. And the Nurgle Hollow. Finally something to use our gold on. They really are kind of a slow, creeping sickness, the Nurgle faction. They get snowballing a little bit slower than some of the others, but once they get there, the snowball grows pretty out of control pretty quickly.
Champion of Decay.
It really wants us to get some more units. No thanks.
Desolation for all.
Desolation for all. Or Plague Toad sounds good too.
Rigor of Rictus.
Since we're bringing in the hero with Tamurkhan's force, we'll put the Plague Toads with Galixis. Thankfully, they're pretty cheap now, so we'll just grab the Toads and leave the Furies for a just-in-case unit there. Pretty much their only other use is dueling other Furies. You go.
Specimens required.
Hopefully, the Droshar don't take too much land from the orcs and they start pushing into Cathay instead. That way I can start claiming some of the mountain settlements for myself and I don't have to fight with the blue fire dwarves. Tamurkhan the Builder. There's something exhilarating about raising something up from once there was nothing. Yes, indeed. Tumors. As far as the eye can see. Friends in fetid places. We need to capture a settlement belonging to the Caravan of Roses. We'll get right on that.
Hand of rot.
Alright, Archaon. Turns out, we have allowed you to exist for far too long, so let's jump into channeling stance. Up to, well, let's make sure Tamurkhan can reach to help. No good places for an ambush here. I would just hide in this magma crevice here. No one's gonna look there. And we'll come up to this position of the Bleeding Spire. I'll go ahead and stamp out the Everchosen. Hello, Archaon.
This is not for the Everchosen.
I mean, your army is very elite, but you've only got like 4 guys, so bring it on.
Son of the sickly wings.
Ambush. We'll look this into the channeling stance. Try to lure him on in. And Epidug can try to keep chasing Tamurkhan's forces. Works for me. No other upgrades. We're just kind of waiting. Which tends to be the way. And I have done some testing on my own for any who are curious as to how buildings are going to work. Let's see if it lets me show it off here. So for when you're not playing as Tamurkhan, you still do have access to all of the same units, of course. They just come from your advanced buildings. They even show it here for us. Yes, indeed. So you get your Plague Ogres through both the Great Weapon variant and your normal. Through your Lesser Garden of Blight. You're also going to get the Toad Dragons through there up in your rank. What is this? Rank 7 and rank 8. So it's quite a ways into the cyclical buildings. And then for your Rot Knights, you get them over with the Living Tree of Decay. And that comes in, I think, at the first one at also 7 and 8. You get 1 and then 2, respectively. Still haven't gotten far enough in a Kugath campaign to figure out if we get access to Kaizek. I think since he's tied to Tamurkhan's mechanics, he is going to be a legendary hero that's only for Tamurkhan, but I could be wrong there. Do not quote me. I'm still trying to get up that far myself to figure it out. And I could play on easy, but I can't do it. So I think I would prefer to get more growth back here at home. Instead of worrying about debuffing Archaon, we could just give him some attrition. Attrition, sap his magic, and then make his magic more expensive. That could be pretty debilitating. Let's do growth. Some of these are very useful for us on this side. We'll move through this line, that way we can get to the extra construction cost reduction here next time. But definitely more growth, and we'll drop this plague down on. You want to look for places that have the 0% chance, but I want that to be over here at one of our main provinces. We'll go Gallows Tree. And we'll go ahead and infect. Try to get that growth percolating. Up to 200. It's more than 200. It's not going to show us how much more. Alright, Everchosen. Charge right on over here. We dare you. A Thunder Lizard has now smashed through the challenge stone. Within a dark ravine, your tallymen sight the pristine corpse, where we find a dead one, of a colossal ancient Stegodon. The Great Lizard's presence here is a mystery, but nevertheless, it shall become a glorious tribute to Nurgle's love. You can either haul it into the sunlight to get a portal glyph, which will give that Lord or Hero 2 summons of Chaos Furies, or we could stuff it with maggots. Let's haul this thing right into the sunlight. Portal glyph sounds great. Awesome, and does Tamurkhan have any... He has the terrifying Mask of E. Not any longer, he doesn't. We can summon in some chicken nuggets anytime we need. How great. That means you, Epidug, can have the Chromatic Tome. I'm gonna go ahead and combine up these terrifying masks for something hopefully a little bit better. Forbidden Rod for Epidug.
The tide of Nurgle
How lovely.
all over this land.
Well, Archaon's gonna hide in his fortress and get himself another exalted hero, so I'm gonna move in and start building up some siege towers then. Here are your cheeks, Archaon.
New conquests.
We could have been buddies, but no. You've got a lot of warriors behind your wall, but how many of them are blessed with Nurgle's love? Just about 0. We will build up some siege towers and a ram.
Fall upon their ranks.
Iglixis.
Dominance through decay.
We'll have you bring in some rot flies to fly up and over those walls, just all of the beasts.
Who is most eager for war?
Who is most eager for war?
Fortifications now!
Let's worry about healing next turn. We'll just move in so we can support Tamurkhan in case Archaon thinks he can win. And then we'll bring Epidug up to join Iglixis just for this turn. If he can make it.
Make Taliban stronger.
I mean, will this allow us just to win with an auto-resolve? It would. I'm not sacrificing my Rot Knights though, so we are going to continue the siege and build up some towers. Strengthen my host. The attrition plague there would have been very good to help us weaken. I think we made the best call. Dragon's Death is how close to enemy lines? Not very, so let's go for... Just go for a little bit more growth. We're starting to need the gold though now, so let's go ahead and switch over to making some more income there. We'll try to keep building up mostly Zanbaijin to start. Oh, speaking of... more growth, and then... we need to save up some infections for one of these lesser Gardens of Blight. ToD dragons we need. Could go for the Spike Palisade to make sure we don't have to worry about home base, which I think is probably going to be our best call here. Carnivorous Compost also pretty good for later on, but for now, let's grab the Palisade. Make sure we stay safe.
Bring pestilence.
Perfect. We have now made good enough buddies with the War Host where not aggression pact ahoy. Hey. Yes, fetid one.
Excellent.
He's fighting Grimgore and the Tusk Sons, and he's actually taken some land already. It is what it is for now. I would love to have claimed the salt mine for myself, but we might be able to. I don't know if the Drossar can hold the line against Grimgore for long. Went on up, and we'll end the turn. Archaon thinks he can handle us on the field. He might be able to. Isn't packing any artillery, but he's already ranked 15 as the Armor of Morkar and the Slayer of Kings. Wait, how many turns are we into this here? Good news is he is on, well, good or bad news is he is on his horse, so our bonus versus large rounds here. Oh, 15 bonus versus large? I think I saw that before, but that is a heap. Here in victory it says, prove them wrong. I'll be very curious to see how well the Swords of Chaos handle a double stack of Rot Knights. Start deployment, this is the perfect place to set up for us. We'll go Shotgun Lads up top. Archaon, I think, does have Searing Doom, so we do need to be a little bit worried about bumping up too much, but that's kind of the way we fight here as Nurgle, so there's not a lot to do about it. We're just trying to make sure those metal spells go down on our small lads here instead of anyone more important. Consider all of our demons to be slightly less important than our mortals just because of how buffed up they are. Gore is kind of in the back. We'll do Rot Knights on a flank that they can kind of circle around either way. We'll have Kaizek rolling with them. Chariots, I'm actually going to keep back with our units to kind of circle around and smash at any flanks that they present to us. If I gotta. Castellan up front. Firing his plague shot in. ToD's also here at the back line. We'll have the chariots kind of coming around. We'll wait for our reinforcements to show up. Whole new concept here for the guild. Right, we get all the lads together. I always forget that you guys, I guess, belong with the lads, even though you've got shotguns. Beasties and the Slug can go with the main force, or the main Lad Force. Spirit Leech on our Furies. What a good idea. What spells are you rolling with here, my friend? He does have the Searing Doom. A Burning Head as well. How exciting. So Tamurkhan, you and the bees come up front to try to start absorbing some of those spells there. Fury's getting hit with that works for me. Ogres, you come on back. Cavalry, let's go duel. Move quickly. Gonna get clipped a bit. Huge spell, especially when he's overcasting it. Come on back then. Smash the Hellstriders. We're gonna try to lure them in and go for the axes. We have regeneration though, so as long as we beat these Hellstriders, that's a fine trade for me. Fall back. Isaac, you stay in and keep fighting. Actually, if you can, go through. Tamurkhan is chucking hands. Go after this exalted hero for me. So many unit of Furies. Oh, really? They're gonna pursue. Interesting strategy. Some battle spells that I wasn't exactly prepared for, so let's send in the boys. Shotguns moving from bully the trolls. We'll have you guys go round because our Rot Knights are getting charged by Swords of Chaos now. Our Kaon went after Kazik, which will basically teleport him on away. They ran from the Pandaceum immediately. Cowards. Some more before they fired anything. He is after Kazik. Giving the Rot Knights away. Reinforcements have come on in and aren't doing anything, so let's charge them into the battle. Through them. Blast into these Marauder Horsemen, and you will have you guys come. Well, not a good time for any of them, honestly. Sent all the Halberdiers that direction, so let's have everyone come back. Plague Ogre's gonna take a lot of damage. We'll have the Pestigores charge these Chaos Warriors of Nurgle there. Tamurkhan, how you doing? He's fighting two at once. Not a fun time. Draw flies, let's go after Horsemen, who's only your real targets you can actually handle. Pull up these Chaos Warriors. Kazik and company, let's go ahead and smash these Swords of Chaos now. Get them all as one big group. He's just waiting for Kazik to come on in. No thanks, Archaon, we're gonna fall back. Who needs heals? Probably our Rot Knights more than anyone else. And you tried it. Come around and blast this guy here. Kazik. Need you now more than ever. Axes hit them. Surround and destroy. Drop that melee defense there. We need people to get up into battle. Slow-mo would definitely help us out. We're not going to do it. I've got to learn how to micro all this at the same time. Not really going to do much damage to those trolls, but chase them off either all the same. Oh, we decided just to charge into them. Alright, coward. Their resistance on press through is impressive. You should be able to take him down. Right, they can handle Archaon his match now against Kazik fouled. Alright, big blob. Smash through. Shotguns get popping. Hold him here. That's that. Absolute goon. Alright, that's Archaon's forces dealt with. Still a desperate fight, though. That many scary armored Chaos Boys all at the same time. One battle. Catch you in a moment.
The Lord decides.
You will absolutely take a close victory that is that in our favor. Only a 453 3 of Nurgle's followers fall, and most of that goes to our Nurglings, and the Elastic just got kind of felt the stink of metal magic. We will definitely devour them. Oh, and the Toad Dragon already. We've got that Toad Dragon already. Doomslayer as well, so defeating the Everchosen, giving us some spell resistance, physical resistance, and then more melee attack will fight against all of the Warriors of Chaos and their aligned factions. And yeah, we've got Bubebelos, an impossibly large and foul reptilian horror. The Toad Dragon known as Bubebelos is as strong as he is perpetually ravenous. He's a hungry, hungry boy. We got plenty of snacks up here in the Writhing Fortress. Go ahead and snag. Action wide, unspeakable horror, unbreakable, and then we get 2 extra uses for himself on his dragon. Let's go ahead and actually start working on more health and then more damage.
New conquests.
For work, Isaac. We will get more balance, for better stats, munitions train for more range and ammunition for his whole army. And then a Glixus here. Keep moving on down the tree. The Doug will give you Punish, Miasma, and Rancid Visitations for sniping heroes. And we'll have you just switch armies over here into Tamurkhans. Great stuff. And now we destroy. Did we lose anyone with our auto-resolve? Looks like no. We'll grab the Greater Icon of Despair and give it over to... We'll just give that to Tamurkhan. Yeah, hand that one over to the auto-resolve. There's nothing really left here behind the walls except for some trolls. Easy win. We will sack the Writhing Fortress. Need a little bit more dominance. I'm actually going to set up for a turn, replenish, and then we're going to sack the settlement one more time here next turn to get even more dominance. For Glixus, we'll grab Pestilential Spawnings for more growth. That sounds pretty good. Plan is to send him back down towards the Challenge Stone here next. Tamurkhan will give you even more health. Isaac. Snag Terrifying Riders now. He now causes terror, and all of the cavalry and chariot units in our entire squad does as well, so as long as they have a rider, they are terrifying. Inspiring Inferno. Immune to Psychology for Infernal Guard. We don't have any of them just yet, so we'll hold off. If anything, we'll just grab the final point to boost income, and they'll start moving down his combat line. Replenish troops for Epidug. Glorious. 830 both armor-piercing, anti-infantry, and anti-large. 25 of one, 20 of the other. And a 75% bonus damage against buildings. Got the Festering Stooges for one of our actual demon-based armies. We'll keep you as close to the Writhing Fortress as possible for our next turn, that we can not move even a little bit. And we'll have a Glixus attack, and we'll move on from there. Actually, as I say that, since we'll have a Glixus stay here, move out as far as we can, and we'll move out as we claim the fortress. Perfect. Absolute ton of gold used to upgrade our provinces. 450 and 150. We can make a ton of gold here with Nurgle now. Extending Tendrils, and that shall be that. I got 4 dominance, so closing in. Cog of the Crazed. His virulent boon basically turns him into a Jabberslythe. He's got Witness Bee, so as long as he has less than 50% health, he's going to have all of the extra ward save. His extra trait is going to be wherever we raise a settlement, we'll gain some extra movement. It'll also give us Inspiring Champs, Hell Cannons, and Shaggoth. As far as Gruckmer goes, we get more income from raiding. Raiding stance is going to cause Nurgle corruption for his army. He's got the Reeking Talisman, giving or whatever army he's embedded in more resistance, and then the immediate use of Savage Dominion, which is summoning Cygors. You get 2 of them. And then with him, you get our Throwing Axe Centigors, Cygor, and then the Gorgon. These last 2 are pretty useful, these not as much. His chieftain abilities are enabling Beast Path Stance, which lets you teleport as if you are a Skaven or obviously a Beastman faction for his army or for the entire faction. Kargan's was Perfect Vigor for all units in Kargan's army, or it completely refills the movement range for Kargan's army. He is all about continuing to smash and raise and burn. So let's get used to here as well. And we shall end the turn.
Peer down my gullet and see me truly.
Gross. We can gift you in riches, but surely it's power you desire. No, we wish for your soul. Do we take the gold and then stab him in the back? Not this time. Right, that's 8 technologies under our belt, giving us a little bit more favor, a tarnished torque, and then a Helm of Discord and some more infections. Those mortals who have wisely given themselves to the worship of the ruinous powers, Grandfather Nurgle shall provide a richly festering, gloriously agonizing reward. Here's a few items. Glixes, go ahead and do the honors. Finish off Orchaon. Oh, really? Okay, so you are not going to be the one that does it. It's going to have to be Tamurkhan. Which is funny. Circle, bring in our other heroes so we at least get some experience. That's gonna be like that. And we'll sack it one more time. There, Eglixis should be able to climb it, since there should be no more walls. There we go. Perfect. And now we march on, I guess, Boris. Islev is next. Tamurkhan, let's get moving. We'll come on down. We'll go into the in-camp stance, though. That way we're punishing as much as possible. We'll come on through here. You're a stompy boy, aren't you? We'll prepare, and we'll grab some growth here in the Writhing Fortress. We're up 3, we need 4 for the Diseased Grove. That means we should probably wait. 8 turns is a lot, though, isn't it? Go ahead and actually pop this on in Nurgle Thicket, and then we'll go for construction for all buildings in the local province. Cheaper by how much in the end? 20% and less construction time. That's pretty excellent. Yeah, we'll start working on the marble camp. Sweet business. We've got the infections to go for the contagious horde, giving us more replenishment rate. More growth. Oh, these are some excellent skills. Yeah, absolutely. Use those infections wisely.
Sweeter still the blessings of Nurgle.
Children of Nurgle, so we've got a little bit of a passive heal every time he is casting. 0.2% is actually a lot, especially for 4 seconds. And yeah, now we're 5 dominance, just 2 more before we can grab ourselves an additional chieftain. Isaac, we just need to take down to 3 more. We need to create more plagues or defeat Warriors of Chaos, Khorne, Tzeentch, or Norska, so fighting any of the normal Chaosy factions. Hopefully there's some nearby. And if not, we'll just create some plagues and get that one sorted in a way. Anyone else wish to trade? Or at least to make some deals? Don's all about it. Yo money. Hey. I will indeed do that every time. We could go ahead and make peace with the Ghoul, force them into a vassalage.
Prepare to be ripped to shreds.
So what if we say, become our vassal or else? They're not that scared of us. We can at least snag the peace treaty with them. Take all their money.
I submit. Corpse Master.
You submit. Honestly, there's no other way for you.
Electrable.
Big Waluigi, what can we give to you? Nothing for now. We'd be able to see a little bit easier with the Glixus too. All we have is these Furies. No, thank you. Nemesis Crown has been spotted in the Empire. The ancient and powerful artifact known as the Nemesis Crown whispers to you from somewhere in the Empire, promising great power should it be taken into your stewardship. Visions flood your mind, revealing a glimpse of its location. It lies near a mountain range. Well, time to burn down all the mountain ranges till we find it. Buboes, phlegm, blood and guts, boils, bogies, rotten pus, blisters, fevers, weeping sores, from your wounds the fester pours. Or bonus rate. Yeah, you guys tend to claim the Sword of Cain unless Alariel dropkicks you that quickly, so now we need to deal with... I thought we already had one of these. Now we just need to defeat... Oh, we just need to defeat some armies. So 6 Kislev Cathay or Empire armies gives us a little bit less treasury. The Father of Blades. Ancient Storied Sword is rumored to be the first one ever forged. It certainly seems to have an uncanny power over other weapons. The first Plague Sword. Everyone in 20 meters loses 24 melee attack? What's an activated ability? I thought that was all the time. Still very strong. The fact that you still have... Where's your faction at? Regnus? Where are you hiding? The Cool are only at 1 settlement. Oh, there's none left for the Archaon's guys. Where are they then? That means we need to be very careful. So we should, what, immediately strike out after Kislev? Let's move up towards the north. Kind of decent check. You are so noisy. We're not sneaking up on anyone anymore. Go right to the edge of our territory. We'll drop into channeling stance. And then we'll kind of see what's over this way. And Glixus will have you sprint down. I'll have you go to the Bleeding Spire, but I'll have you go to this way instead. I don't trust that there's not a random Chaos Force just hiding outside of our vision. Alright, so upgrade the fortress. Nothing to upgrade is done by Jin. Nothing to upgrade in the Chimera Plateau. Let's select ourselves a new technology. Foster Cult's Commandment gives you even more infections. Line of sight when a plague is spread is so good. Then 100 extra 50 or 150 more favor when a plague is spread to own regions and forces. That's also really good. Let's come up through Fever Incubation into the Tumorous Squirt and the Plague Incubation. We're just going to go for maximum faction upgrades to start here. And then we'll start switching back over to the military here in but a moment. Just having this expert charge defense has been holding the line for us for now.
Rot and ruin.
Right. We need more enemies to gain more dominance. Right now we need to build up any settlement building to level 5, giving us a good heap of favor, another portal glyph, Shield of Tolos, Sword of Strife, and then 100 more infections. I'm just going to move Tamurkhan a burning monolith. If there's Skaven here, we'll evict them violently. Now, this belongs to me now. Thank you. Oh, there are Kislevites all around. That should be lots of fun. We should be able to get into a fight with them hopefully pretty soon then. They all come at us at the same time. That allows us to wipe them out all at once. Let's grab a Blessed by Blight now, just to drop the upkeep cost for his army just a little bit.
These dead hands value them.
A lot of the troops we have here are pretty expensive. And with that, that's going to be all the time I've got for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by our third Tamurkhan the Maggot Lord episode. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like for the Light God and a sub for the Sub Throne. See you all in the next one.